I'm just going to get right to it. So this is probably the hardest video I'm ever going to make because this is the most vulnerable I've ever been. I'm not even vulnerable with people I know because it's just not something I'm good at. Because in order to survive it, I learned very early on that that having feelings didn't benefit me. And so I'm making this video for not only people that are highly sensitive or empathic, but also for the people that walk about life like, oh, you're being too sensitive. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Because, especially to those people, like, you don't understand what you do to us. We didn't choose to be sensitive. We didn't choose to be overly emotional. And while it's no one's job ever to tiptoe over people's triggers, it is your job to be kind. It is your job to take accountability. And it's your job not to be an asshole. And when we have a society, I'm so sorry, guys, I really am, but I couldn't get it out of my head that Spirit wanted me to share this because I know that there's a lot of people that go through this where Ziggy, stop. Sorry, alarm. Where there's a lot of us that are really we're sensitive because it's just who we are. It's just a part of who we are. And also being someone who's lost so many people to drug addiction and to suicide, people will sit here and RIP, miss you so much, brother, miss you, sister, wish you would have told me, wish you reached out. But they're the same people that don't answer when you actually are vulnerable. They're the same people that use you when they need somebody, but when you need someone, you're being too much, or they're just nowhere to be found. And so I've been sitting here with my feelings because that's what I do, because I actually don't run away from them. And to anyone that could be an asshole and comment on this video that I'm weak and sensitive, scientifically, there is no bravery without vulnerability. So by me doing this makes me more brave than an asshole in the comment section making fun of me. You're weak, not me. And the hardest part, there's a lot of hard parts to me doing this video, but one of them is I know I have a lot of hate stalkers on my page, a lot of people from my past that are really preying on my downfall. But what the fuck does that say about you? And what does that say about society as a whole? Because, I've moved my whole life through my heart because I don't know how else to move. And while, yeah, in my 20s, not always, because I was really depressed, and so I leaned on alcohol because that's how it works. A lot of the people that you see suffering from addiction have trauma that they can't deal with, and when we have a society that cares more about ego and pride than actual hearty connections, why are you shocked that this is where we are today? Why are you shocked that your best friend's dying of drugs? Why are you shocked that you don't have hearty connections? Why are you shocked that you can't get a good relationship when you're not kind? And there are a lot of people out there like me that just hide or put on a mask to try and survive how hard this world is. Because the truth of the matter is, in general, this world is a shit show and all of us are struggling. All of us are suffering. But instead of coming together and lifting each other up, it's dog eat dog and everyone's fucking cruel instead. And I just can't. Like, it's just not in me. I know how to bark back when someone tries to hurt me. Like, I do know how to defend myself. And that took a lot of time to learn because I was learning very early on in life that if I wanted any sort of form of love, I was needed. I wasn't just loved. I have never had unconditional love really shown to me. I mean, the closest thing would have been Ian, who passed away, and the second closest would be my cousin, but she was also struggling with those same things. And My point to this video is, if you're one of those people that are highly sensitive and emotional, you're not broken. And maybe I needed to say that. Maybe that's why I felt so called to do this video, because I was sitting here in my room thinking about everything that went down in the astrology shit, and how I had to let go of something that I was really excited and passionate about, and how someone that I admired and looked up to could be so mean so fast, because I was calling them out on just something they were doing wrong. Like, we have a society that's dedicated to not taking accountability. Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds, right there, just proves what our society has come to. And that shit scares me. And that's why there's people like me that would rather hide. We'd rather hide. I haven't had a relationship in well over a year. And honestly, I don't know that I want one, because I can't even hold a friendship. And before you sit there and go, well, then you must be the problem. No, because and while this is something I still need to work on, I only attract people that see me as a therapist or someone to mother them, because again, no one knows who they are and no one's doing the work to go within. And so the people that don't do the work end up hurting the people like me. Great example being the astrology teacher that I just had, taking on loads and loads of responsibility. He's overwhelmed, attacks me, and then makes me feel this fucking small. And this happens to me so much in my life. This happens to me with ex-friends, family, relationships, for sure. And I know I'm not the only one. And so if I have to make this very uncomfortable video for me, for those people to spread light, then fuck it. Like, I just won't read the comment section. I'm good with it. I mean, you can't possibly hurt me worse than how I feel right now. Because I feel pretty fucking low. And we have a very hard time admitting those things. I don't like admitting that at all. In fact, prior to a couple of years ago, I mean, I still have an anxiety disorder, but it was so much worse because I couldn't cry. I taught myself very early on that if I was going to survive this world, I better get tough. I better get hard. And that's what she said. Thank you. And when I tried to be tough and hard, I wasn't me at all. And if we're really honest about the connections we want, you really want people that are fake. Like, this is why you're seeing a rise of, what is the divorce rate, like 50%? And you're seeing the rise of all of these unhappy, miserable marriages. And it's like, of course they're miserable. Y'all both put on a facade, and on top of that, you have no idea who you are. And then there's people like me that want to break the chain and that do the hard work. But we're sensitive because we're not blocking our hearts off anymore. We're not ignoring that, hey, that fucking hurt. It really hurt me. That astrology teacher broke my fucking heart. It hurt. And it just reminded me of how many people have done this to me in my life. Like, ex-friends. Oh my God, when I was in the bar scene, I had the worst fucking friends. If I wasn't in the mood to party, or if they couldn't trauma dump on me for a few hours, like these people, and maybe you need to hear this too if you're someone that still parties, no judgment, moderation and everything, but would they be there for you if you were going through something like this? Think about who you surround yourself with, because, you know, while sometimes being like this is lonely, it was so much more lonely pretending to be something I wasn't. It was so much more lonely trying to mold to fit this harsh reality. I don't want to be like that. And there's a lot of people out there that also don't want to be like that, but they're scared. And I know that because that was me. Now I'm just like, fuck it. Like, whatever. It is what it is. What could you possibly say that could make it worse? Like, I'm not going to repeat things because I don't want to put other people up on like a platform to make them feel bad. But, you know, we'll just kind of leave it at family. So, you know, if my family can hurt me, we need to stop with this societal norm of emotions are weakness. Do you think you'd have the balls to upload a video to over 8,000 people to watch you cry? And then we see that as attention seeking, right? Like, I'm not going to say the people that were involved with this situation, but I knew someone who was going through it, and so they And if you guys have known me for a while, unfortunately, I suffered with that myself. And their father, as much as I love them, had said, you want to die so bad? Here. How the fuck do you think that shit's normal? If someone is hurting, why can't you be kind? Why can't you say, we're all hurting. We're all on this ball in the middle of the universe. We don't understand anything. We have a flying fireball that keeps us all alive. We don't know what's going on. And it's just... come through. We're never going to get anywhere if our roots aren't that deep. You're never going to have fulfilling connections if you're not going to be honest with yourself about who you are. Accountability is such a big one too, because people just don't want to admit that they're wrong. They don't want to admit that what they done could have hurt somebody. Like, it reminds me of this dude that I dated for a little bit back in 2020 that, while he wasn't straight up mean to me, he was very aggressive with his tone and very gaslighty. And when I would nicely confront him about it, which that's where I screwed up right there. But, I was learning. But when I would mention it, it'd be like, oh, you're so dramatic. Oh, you're so emotional. But you know what? As someone who cries a lot, she owns her own business, don't she? She has clients that are regulars because she's damn good at what she does, doesn't she? I'm very talented. I'm very emotionally intelligent. I think I'm channeling this because I was having a pity party probably right until this video. And I did also go like this, so that is permission. And I did also recently make a vision board, so this could be why this is all starting to come up. They're very powerful. My last one worked. It's a little creepy. Sometimes I forget how it does work when you do the work. But anyway, my point is, to this video, I don't want to keep it too long, but it's me, so I don't promise anything. Stop calling people emotional. Stop shitting on people for being sensitive. And if you are one of those people, own it. Own it. Because it's not easy being like this. If it was, more people would be honest about it, right? Like, when do you honestly... when people are drunk, that's usually when they cry. But then the next day they'll be like, oh, it's because I was drinking, right? And then you're like, we're never going to get anywhere in a society where we can't be honest with our emotions. Hold on one second. Sorry, I was cooking because even though I'm crying like a baby, I still got to make sure I take care of myself. That's why I have tea and water. But anyway, when you're sitting here and you're angry that we have this 1% in the world, right? That runs the world, hurts people. You got people like Diddy, which is more normal than you know. It hasn't come out fully yet, but it will. It will with time. It's already, we got Epstein, right? It's going to slowly unfold. But if you're sitting here and you're like, this is fucked up. Like, we have narcissists and sociopaths running the world, but you're running away from your emotions. You're not dealing with them. How are you any better? And now this is not to make you feel worse if you're someone that's more on my spectrum where it's like, I'm afraid because everybody calls me weak. That's different. I'm talking about the people that lean on narcissistic tendencies, because while I see a lot of videos where people are like, they throw the word narcissist around so much. First of all, narcissists don't get help. Most of them don't. Ask any narcissist that does, right? I'm trying to think of that guy's name, but I can't because I'm just too emotional myself. Something Harmon. He's a YouTuber that was a narcissist and he got help. And so now he tries to help others to admit it and get help. And the problem is narcissistic tendencies is at an all-time fucking high because of social media alone. You look outside of yourself to make everybody love you. I mean, I had a time where, I'd be on Facebook, have a few thousand friends, which weren't my friends at all. They didn't they weren't, because anytime I ever wrote a status where I actually needed help, cricket, cricket, cricket. And I would care so much what they thought. And they let me down every time. And we let ourselves down by doing that. Sorry, I'm like out of breath because I don't even know what came over me. I think just the stress of trying to just get out of this fucking astrology class is fucking with my head, because it's like, I've been doing all this work. How am I still attracting people that talk to me this way? How am I still attracting people that think it's okay to not be kind? Like, I'm sick of it. If you are one of those people that complain about the world being cold, what are you doing to change that? Because if you're just going to be cold too, then you're continuing that cycle, right? Like, if you're against cheating, but then you go and cheat, or you got left and you got your heart broken, so you leave before you get left, like, you're not any better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not people's responsibility to mold themselves to your triggers, to your wounds. And in dealing with this astrology teacher, it just really made me realize that, like, bro was just like the dudes that I used to date. And that's probably why I was drawn to take his course, because when I started it, I wasn't where I'm at now. And that's probably why the tension is just oil and water now, because I actually do the work. Whenever something hurts, I turn everything off and I go, all right, let's go. And I ask God, spirit, whatever, and then I fucking feel it and I ugly cry. And this time, for some reason, in my head, I just kept hearing, turn on the camera, turn on the camera. And I was like, what? I don't even really like doing feelings. You want me to do feelings in front of thousands of people? Are you crazy? But it would be a disservice to not show the public that this is what you do to sensitive people. This is what you do to highly sensitive people. This is what you do to empathic people. We're real people. We're not broken. We feel. You're broken if you don't feel. That's sociopathy. So instead of getting triggered that we can touch our emotions, get inspired to start feeling your own, so that you can stop this cycle of emotional abuse and physical abuse sometimes. If you're not adding to the solution, respectfully, shut up. Like, no one asked for your opinion. If you're going to be cruel, don't talk at all. You know, we all have days where we think so-and-so's a douche and so-and-so should, you know, I don't know, whatever. I just try to mind my business. But I've been there, you know. There's definitely some thoughts and feelings I have towards my teacher, but I'm sure shit not going to message him and be like, fuck you and you're a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Because how would I be any better? How would I be any better? This is the pain that you're causing me right now. So me causing you pain would just make me an asshole too. Therefore, like, neutralizing it and being a part of the problem. I don't want to be a part of the problem. I want to be a part of the solution. And I guess being a part of the solution means showing, even though I don't want to, what you do to people when you call them emotional, when you call them sensitive, when you negate their emotions, when you negate what it is that they're going through. There's this quote from a Louis C.K. show, but he got canceled, so I can't find that show anywhere, when he says, when you hurt somebody, you don't have the right to say you didn't. Whether or not it's from a rational place, that doesn't matter. Feelings are feelings. They're not always rational. My level of sadness, probably not rational. And I've talked about this before, probably not equal to the situation at hand. But it made me spiral, because those are the types of people that I attract all the time, where it's like, I'm nice instead of being kind, which is my fuck up, because kind, you have boundaries. Nice, you're tiptoeing. And I was nice. I knew my teacher was struggling and I didn't want to add pressure. And then I was starting to boil up because I was getting tired of them not standing on business. Because as a business owner myself, my clients hear from me if there are issues. I try to make it so no one else is stressed. Why add to people's stress if I understand how stressful life is? And I just think that we have a society that if we keep going in this direction, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, because there's going to be people like me that hide, or they're going to lean on drugs and stuff like that. And then I'm going to have to bury more people that I care about. And this is not a joke. Being sensitive is not a joke. It's not funny. You're not cool for making fun of people that cry. You're weak. You are weak for that. You're selfish. You're not a good person. Like, I don't know how on earth we got to this place in our society where it's a good thing to be empty, to be void of emotion. I want no part of that. I want no fucking part of that. And I hope that this video, it'll probably reach the people that get it, that get what it's like, you know? It was like the tears, it wasn't just about the astrology teacher. It was like, how does this keep happening? Where it starts off good, right? But then you have one thing to just say, like, hey, you're not meeting me halfway, or you're not taking accountability for this and that. And all of a sudden it's, oh, you're bad. Oh, now I'm going to attack you. You're too sensitive. You're emotional. And it's like, you're breaking people's hearts. You're breaking their spirits. You're breaking them down. You think you're better for that? You're an asshole for that. Like, no offense, but my teacher behaving the way that he had, take accountability. You're being a jerk. Just admit that you're being a jerk. I've been a jerk a million times in my life, and I will easily admit when I'm wrong. Do you know how many times I've apologized for my side when they did worse than I did? When I've apologized, like that situationship I was talking about. We had talked like a little while after it all, fizzled out. And I was like, sometimes I was a little too much because I didn't know how to speak up the way that I needed to speak up. And that's part of the problem too. We're afraid to speak up because of exactly that. Because when we do speak up, people get mad because, oh my God, God forbid you attack their character. But it's not that we're attacking your character. We're calling you out on your bullshit. And if you can't take accountability, you're not going to have a good life. You're not going to have a fulfilling one. You'll probably lean on external vices, just like opposite sides of the same fucking coin, right? The narcissist and the empath. Opposite sides of the same coin. So you can't sit here and be worried about where our world is headed when you're part of the problem. So I think I'm just going to leave that here. I hope that this reached whoever it needed to reach, because I'm good at my business. My clients have heard from me, so that's good. They know where they stand right now. I'm trying to fight to get my money back from this dude right now, so I don't even know what's going to go on with YouTube this week. I'm just trying to focus on right here, right now. Like, I was just like, all right, I need a lot of self-care. I need to admit that. What the hell? Found a rom-com, decided to smoke on a weekday, got a bunch of junk food out. That's what I'm going to do, because in order to be a match to the people that I want in my life, I have to become what it is I'm looking for, right? And we need to do that. And so part of me wants to say I'm sorry that I started the video emotional, but then that just, again, see what I mean? It's so deeply ingrained. I'm not broken for being emotional because I get back up every time. Every time. Do you honestly think that you could get a phone call that someone you thought you would spend the rest of your life with is dead, and then you could just keep going without going cold, without keeping your heart blocked off? I've been through shit that y'all don't even know about. I don't know that I'll ever tell those stories. But I stay kind. I stay honest. Because I want to be the best version of me no matter what. Because otherwise, I don't really have a right to be talking. If I don't take my own advice, right? What kind of person? I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. Exactly. We have, and that's kind of, I think Spirit's kind of talking now, with the biblical sense, with these false idols. It's these people that don't love themselves, that put on this persona, and then we feel like we have to be like them, and then we don't know who we are, because maybe we're different, right? Like, sometimes I like to dress kind of more of a slutty girly than just girly. A lot of times I like to dress like a dude. I like to be one of the bros. That's how I am. But I don't fit into a box, and society fucking hates that. And because we attack what we don't understand, we're never going to get anywhere, right? Like Trump with gender fluidity. Stop attacking what you don't understand. Learn, I have Googled and researched everything that I don't agree on. I've looked into flat earth theory, knowing damn well it's just not true. I've looked into the arguments that global warming is fake, even though I do not believe that that's true at all. Because regardless of whether or not I agree, I aim to understand. And we should all aim to understand because we get along. Like, no one's the enemy. We're all hurting. The whole world's going through it. And if we banded together instead of... And a bigger part of that is not dealing with your shit in the first place. So you're leaking it out onto everybody else. No, it's okay. Push it down, push it down, push it down. No, I'm not going to deal with it. And then you're angry and you lash it out. Like, I 100% know that that's what happened with the teacher. Way too much responsibility. I was like, hey, holding you accountable for shit that I need from you. And then it was, blah. I was getting the grunt of their frustration because they're drowning in their own life. That's not on me. That's on you. Do the work. If you want to see this world change, do the work. Because people like me don't deserve this. We've done the work. Stop attacking us for having feelings and being vulnerable. Because if we had more people like me, it would honestly be a much more beautiful place. I'm very kind. That's why people fucking never leave me alone. That's why I can't go to a grocery store without someone telling me their fucking life story. Because people can feel the authenticity from me. People can feel that I probably have the same resonance as like a golden retriever, as like a cat. Like, I mean no harm. But just because I'm kind doesn't mean I'm also a doormat. Just because I'm kind doesn't mean I'm never going to amount to anything. Just because I'm soft and sensitive doesn't mean that I can't find success in a different format, different way of life. We really need to stop this mentality of you're weak if you're sensitive, you're weak if you have emotion, because I promise you, if that was the case, science wouldn't back up that. Like Brene Brown has said, there is no vulnerability without bravery. Think of any time that you've ever had to be brave. Did you not feel vulnerable? So stop calling people like me soft and broken and whatever your negative words are because you can't deal with your own feelings. That's not fair to people like us. And to those of you that are like me, I hope you can learn from me that you should honor and embrace and purge those emotions out, but know at the end of the day that you're not alone and you're not the one at fault. Like I said, don't leak your shit on other people, but it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be more than one thing. You don't have to fit into a box. I can cry today and be a boss bitch tomorrow. I can fall apart today and I could feel like I'm living on cloud nine tomorrow. And a lot of people will be like, oh my God, like that's like borderline personality. She's up and down, she's up and down. No, we just have a society that doesn't feel their emotions anymore, and that's what's not okay. And when you break free from that, you're targeted because they don't know how to do the same. So how about you go to therapy or do some research to figure out how to do the same so that this world can actually be something to be proud of? Because right now it's scary. I admit that. I don't want it to be, and that's why I'm doing stuff like this. So that I can help people level the fuck up. Stop making excuses in your life. You're not broken, and everything to an extent is fixable. You know, I came from nothing. I didn't have the best upbringing. I didn't have everything handed to me, and I think I've done pretty well for myself. But yet to this day, too emotional, too soft, too sensitive. I think you're talking about yourself. Because every time I embrace my emotion, I jump back like, knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. While the people that refuse to deal with their emotions, they're either angry all the time or they don't feel anything at all. So again, narcissists and sociopaths. What road do you want to go down? Feel your fucking feelings, dude. And stop taking it out on the rest of us. I know this wasn't my normal video. I'm sorry. I felt spirit being like, make the video. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be the hardest thing I ever do. But if it helps at least one person, let me know if it did. Let me know if this video did help you. I hope that it did. I know that It was just a lot more explaining, but I want people like me to be seen. You're hurting us. How do you find that to be okay? Because a lot of the times, right, you'll hurt us and then you'll just move on. Okay, whatever. They're a bitch. They're this. They're that. And then you'll block us. And then you'll go on with your life. But we live rent-free in your head from time to time. You know why? Because you were the asshole. And deep down, you know that you hurt somebody and that doesn't feel good. I don't feel good when I hurt people. It does not feel good. So take accountability. Grow the fuck up. Your brain is fully developed by 25 years old. So if you're 25 and up, enough with the excuses. Go to therapy, get help, do what you got to do. But stop projecting the fact that you can't heal your wounds onto those of us that are doing the work, and so we feel our feelings. I am super sensitive. I really am sensitive. So sensitive. So sensitive that I could feel people's energies. If you're mad at me, I could feel it. Through the phone, I can feel it. If you're texting me with an attitude, I could feel it. This is hell, okay? I didn't choose this, but I do my best with what I got. And I try to be happy and spread love regardless. So, like Brene Brown says, if you're not in the boxing match getting your ass kicked, you're only sitting in the nosebleed seats, not doing the real work, you don't have permission to talk shit. Because you're the weak one. I'm up there getting my ass kicked. I'm up there getting hurt. I'm up there facing shit no one else wants to face. So you don't have a right to sit here and tell me that I'm weak. Because can you do the same? If I get a single fucking comment on this video where it's like you're being emotional, I dare you. The day you want to cry, I dare you to pull out your phone and do this video. Do a video like this. And see if you can handle putting that out in front of the world. No? You're not as strong as you think then, are you? This world is like fucking backwards and I don't like it. So, to my sensitives, to my highly empathics, to my people that just have feelings and they honor it, you're not alone. I love you. I believe in you. And don't give up being kind, because there's more of us than you think. We're just probably all hiding. We're probably just all in hiding because we don't want to deal with people that don't want to do the work. And eventually it's going to get to a place where there's going to be a split. We're already feeling it. That's why all these people are finally getting caught with the shit they're doing. So let's be on the side of progress. Let's be on the side of growth. Let's be on the side of expansion, abundance, happiness. Let's not be what hurt us, because then you're no better. And that's real shit. I don't know. Let me know if you made it to the end. Let me know if you thought that this was useful. This is totally not a video I feel comfortable making, but it is what it is. And I love you guys. And I don't know what this week's going to bring. I'm really hoping to just fucking be done with astrology so that I can move on, because it's just stressing me out. My chest hurts. My shoulders hurts. My jaw is killing me. And I'm just so sad. Because this is what happens when we admire, I think Spirit said it earlier, false idols. When we admire people, we don't really know what they're capable of. I didn't know him long enough to make a real sound opinion. And so, of course, when he hurts my feelings, it just all comes tumbling down, because it's like, whoa, didn't see that side of you. Because everybody's putting on a fucking front. Stop putting on a front. Stop caring about Facebook likes. Get to know yourself. Work on your shit. Heal so it doesn't get transferred to someone else. God forbid you have kids. You're going to put it on them. Heal. Fix yourself. Work on yourself. Otherwise, you're no better. You're just not. You're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. And you don't deserve to talk. Sit down. What is it? Isn't that a song? Sit down. Be humble. Like Kendrick Lamar. Be humble, bitch. All right. I'll see you guys sometime this week. I don't really know what's going on. Right now, I just need to, like, re-fucking calibrate and realize that this too shall pass, and that God always blesses me, and God always takes care of people that hurt me. So that's why I just stay back and let karma do its thing. Because karma really got hands, bro. Especially when you are kind. Like, if you're someone who's kind, believe me, I've seen a lot of people get karma for hurting me. I didn't even really enjoy it. That's the problem, because of my heart. It's like, I don't want to see you go through that. And we have a society that's like, oh, well, you're sensitive, so you're weak. It's just, whatever. I love you guys. I hope that this helped somebody. That was the whole goal. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.